Now to the next leg of our discussion. Primary education is the most important of every aspect of education, as it is the foundation of the early childhood care development. But shortage of teachers in public primary schools has now become a huge challenge to acquiring education at this stage. According to the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, there is a whooping gap of 194,876 teachers needed in the system alone. And this development is even more of a concern to the leadership of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, who is calling on stakeholders, particularly the state governments, to act fast to reverse the trend. And findings have revealed that some primary schools at the public level, particularly in rural areas, have as few as 2 to 3 teachers, because many state governments are said not to have recruited teachers for a long time. And this is putting a strain on the quality of education, as the few available teachers are overworked and overstretched, meaning that they may not be giving their best to the children due to this burden. And joining us now in the studio to highlight some of the reasons responsible for the shortage and possible solutions, we have the Lagos State Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Teachers with us, Akintoye Hassan. Welcome to TVC Breakfast, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, madam. Thank you for having me.
How do you view this problem? In that read that we had to take to serve as a background to our discussion, of course, it's obvious that this is the crucial stage for learning for children, and this is even the stage that we have an almost 200,000 shortfall.
Well, thank you very much. It is very interesting that that agency of government at the federal level that were actually domesticated at the state level as a SUBEB have come up now with data to actually establish the fact that we have teachers shortages in our schools, especially as identified by UBEC in primary school. Not minding the fact that it cut across, whether primary or junior secondary school. But let us remain focused on the one actually brought to the front burner by the UBEC, that 194,876 shortages based on their own data analysis. Let's approximate it to 195,000. So if we divide it by 37, going by 36 states of the Federation plus FCT, is going to give you around 5,270 teacher shortages per state. That means for us to match up, there is need for every state now to recruit nothing less than 5,000 teachers. So because we must not just be brandishing these figures without subjecting it to, critical analysis and a kind of interpretation that will lead us into decision taking. I think that's the essence of that data in the first instance. So I don't want to, go far before, hammering to whoever that cares, that if indeed we believe that any development to be witnessed by any nation can only be driven by the level of education of that nation. So what are we talking about? Here is the foundation.
Okay, so there are
shortages.
There are insinuations that in as much as the government has refused to employ more teachers to address the shortfall, there's this issue of the Jagba syndrome. Now, how is this affecting the primary education, and what hope do we have?
That is double tragedy for us. Somebody who is supposed to make sure that there is not even shortfall has failed. In another sense, those who are already within the system, they are not being taken care of. it is a natural force that you move. There is a kind of affinity to where you have soccer. So, and the world is a global village now. You read about how your colleagues in the same profession fear in other climes, and there is not even that barrier in terms of, you know, what do I call it, movement, job, occupation, you know, movement. So in as much you can meet up the criteria. So that is how the Japa syndrome comes in a search for greener pasture. And already the government, who is a major employer of labor, because education is a social services, you can't leave it for business owners who will come in to make profit. So they are failing in their own respect, and in another respect, people are moving towards greener pasture. That has now become a double tragedy. And over the years, NUT, the leadership of NUT has seen it all. That was the reason why we initiated the bill to elongate the service years of teachers. They thought that we were being selfish. They said that, oh, how can you grow old in the system when we have younger ones? Not even minding the fact that the younger ones, they are not interested in this poverty-stricken job
Profession.
that the people who have been there were there because they have passion. And they came in as at the time that the society placed value on teachers, that even if you are not seeing so much in terms of monetary gains, but the fact that you are respected in the society, is our teachers coming. So all those are lacking now.